installment of What's New. Nothing against the other days.
Sure.
We love them all. This is our favorite show to do, without question. Thanks so much for spending time with us. Betsy's off today. Lena Lai is in her place. I'm Jay Crawford. Lena, welcome, and a great Friday afternoon to you.
Hey, come on, it's not like children. You can declare it. Friday's good.
I know. I just don't want to offend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I try to be equal to all days, but I am partial to Friday. We do begin today's show with the weather. You've noticed, if you've looked outside the window or been outside at all, after a week of hot, humid conditions, we're tracking a big swing in temperatures and rain.
Yeah, Jason's here now. It's also a big night, Jason. Friday night football for a lot of families.
Yeah, it is very, very important because everybody's going to be keeping their eyes on the radar. What's happening and when is it going to happen? That is the topic of our weather story today, and that is what's new on this Friday. Let's talk about what's happening outside right now. I want to show you what's trending on radar. Satellite and radar showing that very defined line, that clash of air masses that we've been talking about for the past couple of days. You have a difference here. You have southerly winds at the surface, and just above that in the mid levels, you have that southwesterly wind that's moving in, and behind the cold front, you have northwesterly winds moving in. So that's where it creates that rotation in the atmosphere. And we've seen that only in a couple spots this afternoon. We're still closely watching that, but you can definitely see where the rainfall is lining up right along the cold front and even down south in the southern part of our state, building in some shower activity as well. Let's hone in a little bit closer, and you can see what's happening here right along the lake shore. We've seen what's called shear, a little bit of directional and wind speed difference within a small area. We've been seeing some water spouts just across the area near Huron and also Lorraine going out into the lake there. With the dew point temperatures well inland, that tropical-like moisture is still holding strong, but you already see with some of the heavier downpours, some cooler temperatures from 24 hours ago. Most of us still well above average for this time of year. Mid to upper 70s area-wide. Elyria just about 2 degrees shy of 80 and 79 at Cuyahoga Airport. We're going to be talking about that radar much more closely and also timing out for you coming up in that hour-by-hour National Zymark forecast, guys.
Yeah, the timing is key. All right, thanks, Jason. Jay?
All right, Lena, just 2 days out from Sunday's big game with the undefeated Arizona Cardinals, the Browns learn that they're going to have to go to battle without one of their best players. This is tough news. Nick Chubb has missed practice all week long. He's had that lingering calf injury that he suffered in last Sunday's loss to the Chargers. And today the Browns announced that he will be unavailable for Sunday. 3 News sports reporter Nick Camino joins us now on What's New. Not the news that you want to hear going into a very big football game. Your best player is out.
This was going to be a tough game, with Nick Chubb.
Way,
and now, you're going to be without Nick Chubb. And here's the thing. When you talk about the Browns offense, he's probably their best offensive player. When you talk about the team next to Myles Garrett, he may be their best player overall. I mean, this is going to be tough that they're going to be playing this game against the Cardinals without Nick Chubb. Now, he's been dealing with a calf injury. Here's the thing. Chubb supposedly suffered the injury late in last week's 47-42 loss to the Chargers. I think that this news, though, caught some people by surprise that Chubb will be out. But here's the thing. He didn't practice all week leading up to the game. So it's not, I guess, crazy, shocking news. But I think there were some people today who were like, wow, okay, he's going to miss this game. So Kevin Stefanski, he met with the media after practice today. We were there. Here's what he had to say about not having Nick Chubb against the undefeated Cardinals.
Yeah, I think anytime you're without a player of Nick's caliber, guys have to step up. So it's never one person that replaces Nick Chubb. Obviously, we feel real strong about Kareem and what he's capable of, but guys have to step up.
All right, Jay, as Coach said, you can't replace Nick Chubb.
No, you can't.
You're going to have Kareem Hunt in there. We'll see probably a little bit of Dearness Johnson.
Sure.
And a little bit of Demetric Felton. And when you think about it, for Browns, for their running back room, that's a pretty deep room. I mean, you don't want to be without Nick Chubb. I'm not trying to, put lipstick on a figure. I'm not trying to spin this any other way. This is going to be tough. But they do have some depth at running back.
They do. He's special because he runs the ball like no one else. When he hits that hole, he hits it with authority. By the way, and this is rare, you don't see this happen a lot, I want to issue an apology to Kevin Stefanski and the Browns, and here's why.
I'm glad you did this.
I was seriously
You were very vocal
critical.
about
Listen, I was very hard on Stefanski and the Browns' play calling late in that game. Yeah. I wrote a column.
The
Monday
guy happened to be hurt.
I said, where is Nick Chubb? You've got the three biggest plays of your game, and Nick Chubb is on the bench.
Maybe we should have known something was up.
Well, we should. But, the reason I didn't think he was hurt is because when Hunt needed a blow in the very last series, Chubb came back out onto the field.
That's a good point.
So
That's a good point.
I don't know how hurt he was, but perhaps that was one of the reasons why Chubb wasn't in the game and wasn't carrying the ball with 3:18 to go, and they needed a first down to milk it away.
Rest them out against these Cardinals, and then don't forget, short week coming up as they'll have the Denver Broncos on a Thursday night here in Cleveland.
The good news is Jarvis Landry will be back on the field.
Game time decision, right? I mean, it sounds
he was activated, so I assumed that he was going to play.
I imagine he'll be out there, but I guess not official. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Okay. Yeah. Nick, thanks.
We're ready.
All right.
You think we're ready for kickoff?
Yes, I do.
Thanks, guys. Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine boosters are one step closer to becoming available now that a Food and Drug Administration advisory panel voted to recommend a second J&J shot for emergency use authorization. This comes a day after the same panel voted to recommend booster shots for the Moderna vaccine as well. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins is here now to tell us what this means and when these shots might be available.
Hold tight. They're likely coming. So the panel, called the Vaccine and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee, voted unanimously in favor of authorizing a J&J booster 2 months after the first dose. So that would bring its efficacy to 94%, which is on par with the Moderna and Pfizer 2-shot regimens. So what happens next? Well, the FDA will review the recommendation for both J&J and the Moderna booster, which was also recommended yesterday. And while the panel's vote is not binding, the FDA typically does follow their decision. So this is expected to happen early next week. Then the process repeats itself. A CDC advisory panel meets next Thursday and Friday. If they approve both boosters, official vaccine guidance will be handed down. So boosters could be potentially available the week of the 25th if all goes well. Now, before the vote, a top federal health official said that the agency may also consider regulatory action that would allow Johnson & Johnson recipients to receive a booster shot of a Moderna or a Pfizer vaccine. But Dr. Peter Marks, who oversees the FDA's vaccine division, didn't have a timetable for if or when that might happen, only saying it's possible. Now, you might recall an NIH study came out yesterday indicating that mixing and matching vaccines is safe and effective. So on that one, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, and some studies were showing that J&J initial vaccines could be boosted better with other brands.
Right.
So we'll see about that. Okay, younger kids, I should say, and vaccines still under review.
Yeah, that's something everybody is, such a hot topic. So the hot topic that it is, the FDA is going to discuss the Pfizer vaccine in kids 5 to 11 on October 26th. Then a CDC panel of vaccine experts will meet November 2nd and 3rd. And of course, the Pfizer vaccine on the agenda. Experts are anticipating the FDA will have decided by then whether or not to authorize the shot for kids. So we'll, again, have to wait and see. I would anticipate that one is going to be far more in depth because we're talking about little ones. And of course, the dosing had to change with them.
Right. Okay. Thanks so much for the latest.
Sure.
Well, heads up to parents with young kids. Today, the IRS started depositing this month's installment of that advanced child tax credit payment. If you see that your payment is issued but you haven't received it, you'll need to fill out a form and send it to the IRS. These monthly payments will be sent out 2 more times, November 15th as well as December 15th. Remember, these are only advance payments of the first half of your child tax credit. You'll be receiving the second half when you file your taxes.
Now on your feet at 5, we are learning more about the pandemic's impact on our schools. So yesterday, Ohio State report cards for districts came out, and not surprisingly, they were not good.
No, they weren't. But today, we're learning more about why some local district scores were shockingly low. Plus, one local superintendent is speaking out on how to fix the problem. Our Lindsay Buckingham joins us now live from the newsroom to explain. Lindsay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Jay and Lynna. The scores are based on performance index marks, graduations, and attendance for the last school year. And by and large, they provide a snapshot of the negative impact the COVID-19 pandemic has had on student academic performance. Districts are on the defensive, saying the data is misleading because of so many students going untested. I checked in with Painesville City Local Schools Superintendent Josh Engelhardt, who says the district's sharp decline, about 34% compared to the previous grading period, is not an accurate reflection of how the district is doing or how hard it is to get kids back on track. Here's his explanation.
I was disappointed that the data are being used. So we had about half of our kids in remote instruction, whereas, other districts had somewhere in the neighborhood of 15% or so of their kids online. We had 47.5% of our kids who weren't tested. Every one of those untested tests counts as a 0 in performance index. So you see this artificial massive decrease.
Engelhardt said Painesville's intervention for struggling students has never stopped. And because it's a district that's economically challenged, they strive to get kids passing grades. And this is just Painesville City local schools. We're going to hear how other districts are responding as we dive a little deeper on what matters most at 6. In the meantime, we've got the state report card and performance index breakdown on WKYC.com.
Yeah, I took a look and everybody's down. And, as long as they're not being penalized, right, Lindsay?
Absolutely. And I will get into that a little bit more at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, the numbers are shockingly low, but I feel a little better about it after learning that 27% didn't take the test and those scores are recorded as 0. I would have loved to seen what the average test score was for those that took the test.
Yeah, that's
I think
why
that would be a more accurate reflection of how we're doing.
Yeah, that's why
Lindsay,
it's good
thanks.
to provide the context from Lindsay.
Yeah, absolutely. Still ahead on what's new. We all remember Tiger King. Remember that gripped the nation. I have to admit, it got me too. Now Carol Baskin has her own show. It documents Joe Exotic's former zoo. Kara Cotton has all the details on that coming up in Pop Break.
And limited time offer, Culver's is offering up a new burger that all came to be because of a social media prank. We'll show you which 3 News reporter got the first bite today. But first, here's Jason.
Hey guys, hope you're doing good. Hey, it's Friday football, so all eyes are focused on what is it going to be? Well, showers are increasing across our area in Northeast Ohio, as well as lightning is going to be possible as well. We'll talk about that radar in full scope coming up.
Welcome back. Well, what all started as a social media prank came to light today.
Yeah, this is pretty funny. Culver's unveiled its CurderBurger, and this morning, and I'm jealous, Austin Love got a first look and a first bite at the limited time offer delight. Take a look.
Happy Friday and happy National Cheese Curd Day. I'm Austin Love hanging out right now at Culver's, and it is a special day because what started as a joke, an April Fool's joke, has now turned into reality, and that reality, my friends, is the glorious CurderBurger. The first look of this that you're seeing right now, a very limited offer that they're having right now. I think each store in Northeast Ohio only has about less than 200 of these, 192, so you got to get on these fast. It is a cheese curd, along with their delicious butter burger. Holly, I'll tell you what, it's a great day to be alive, but a bad day to be a cheese curd. Come check it out.
Wow.
And by Holly, he meant Lena and Jay.
Right.
Austin said after trying it that being from Northern Illinois and spending a lot of time in his youth in Wisconsin, that he lives for cheese curds, as you can tell by the T-shirt. And the burger made his Midwestern taste buds explode. Culver's original post about the CurderBurger back on April 1st got more than 6,000 shares, 7,500 comments, and 14,000 reactions. I'm down with anything that's got curds in it.
Hey, give the people what they want.
That's right, exactly.
So come on, Jason, give us some sunny weather. Forget the storms tonight.
I promise I'm doing my very best. In fact, the Cleveland area is looking at a little bit of sunshine. Let's go outside right now and show you what it looks like on our CSU cam. Few peaks of sunshine, Lena and Jay. I promise you, we'll have more of that coming in the 7-day. But for now, we definitely have to focus on what's knocking on our doorsteps across Northeast Ohio. That front is getting on the move. Storms are likely to move through over the next few hours, so it is very, very important to keep your eyes peeled on the radar and to see what's happening outside of your door. Temperatures sliding ever so steadily into the mid to upper 60s overnight tonight. With that front being on the move, our major threats are going to be some damaging winds, maybe even some thunder and lightning, and maybe even some flooding in some areas as well. So let's dive right into it and what it looks like on live satellite and radar right now. You can see where that front is drawn across the Buckeye State right now. Energy on both sides, battling things out. Drier air behind the front moves on in over the next 24 to 36 hours. And you also have convergence happening along the front as well. Westerly winds coming in off of the northern plains there. You have southerly winds with a lot of humidity attached to that. And then in the mid-levels, you have that southwesterly wind coming in as well. So that is not helping things. In fact, we've seen some areas with a little bit of rotation back over towards the north and west just earlier this afternoon, over towards Erie, Lorain County, even coming off the coastline. You can see that little blue dot there just kind of figuring its way out into the lake there. That's what we call shear, a little bit of wind directional shear and speed shear within a small area. And that is just off the coast of Lorain, where they're already seeing 2 water spouts. It's not going to affect us here on land, at least with this storm. It's going to be going out into the lake. Rainfall accumulations. This is another area that we have to watch as well. Back towards the north and west, you can see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. Isolated amounts higher than that over towards Pleasant, Payne, even the US 30 route as well, getting some heavier rainfall. So what does it look like for us, at least for the rest of the evening into the overnight? Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast focuses in on this line of storms coming through around 8, 9, 10 p.m. this evening. Some models really kind of want to back off of it just a little bit as the front moves north and east of our area. However, I'm still going to hone in on the rainfall threat for us later into the overnight and heading into early tomorrow morning. Residual rainfall, a wall of water, some like to call it, for early tomorrow morning. So our areas along the coastline, perhaps even up to Lee, Ashtabula County. Last weekend, you were dealing with some flooding that could possibly be happening for tomorrow morning as well. Breaks in the clouds tomorrow. Notice this, we do have some wind coming off a very warm lake there, so some lake effect showers are going to be continuing through our Saturday, and then come early Sunday, we kind of take things on out of here. The rainfall kind of just washes itself out, so to speak. 2 out of 5, that is our severe weather list for today. There's a slight risk again with the threats for us being the damaging winds, lightning, of course, Friday football, flooding possibility, and even an isolated quick spin up tornado also going to be an possibility as well. At least for us, again, keep an eye on what that rainfall looks like outside your door, especially in the overnight hours. Look at your National Design Mart, at least your Union Home Mortgage, I should say. 7-day forecast through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Much brighter weather. Lena?
All right, thanks, Jason. Coming up, the more the merrier. NSYNC alum Lance Bass has some big news. We'll show you his special addition to the family coming up next in the Pop Break.
Plus, wish granted. The special day one local boy had as his dream comes true. It's today's Worth the Watch. It'll put a smile on your face. It's coming up. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Hi, Matt. We are talking pop things. Carol Baskin. Thank you. This is what happened.
It is time for our Friday Pop Break, and with this weather, it may be the perfect time just to sit at home this weekend and binge watch some Netflix.
Or anytime, right? Kiara Cotton joins us now with a look at some of the biggest entertainment headlines now.
That's right, guys. That's certainly on my to-do list for this weekend. But first, I'm calling all you cool cats and kittens out there because Carol Baskin is back. The Big Cat Rescue CEO is ready to tell her side of the Tiger King story. The 60-year-old is taking fans inside the battle for animal rights and the protection of big cats in a new docuseries called Carol Baskin's Cage Fight. The series will also show her investigation into the GW Zoo that was previously owned by Joe Exotic. The two-part series is set to debut on Discovery Plus November 13th. And congratulations are in order for Lance Bass and husband Michael Turchin. The couple welcomed twins Violet Betty and Alexander James via surrogate on Wednesday. Sharing the news on social media, the NSYNC singer wrote, "The baby dragons have arrived," and he playfully asked how to change a diaper. The couple shared the news alongside a picture of the baby's birth certificates that included stamps of their tiny footprints, wishing this new family of four the best of luck. And we've all heard the saying, "You are the company you keep." Well, for music superstar Usher, he's the GOAT. In honor of his 43rd birthday yesterday, the Texas native took a run with some baby goats. Literally. He shared the moment on social media with the caption, "You're only as good as the company you keep. This is what 43 looks like for me." With his discography and his popular Vegas residency, I'm not sure many people can argue with Usher if he wants to consider himself the GOAT, guys.
Yeah, I think a lot of others consider him a GOAT too.
Yeah.
So there's that. Are you in on the Carol Baskin documentary? No, you're not.
Steering
Me
clear.
neither.
Tiger
Wow.
King didn't get me, and this won't either.
Oh, Tiger King got me, man.
But will you watch the Carol
I don't
Baskin
know.
one then?
I don't know, because I realized like 3 episodes in that this is a very guilty pleasure. What am I doing watching this show? I
You're
felt
probably
like
losing some
Don't
brain
be
cells.
ashamed.
no, I lost IQ points. I guarantee you. But I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid that once this comes out, just the sheer curiosity will get me for episode 1, and then who knows what? I didn't plan on getting hooked on Tiger King, but I did.
We'll count on you for the recap.
All right, I'll be your official Carol Baskin Tiger King recap guy.
Okay.
That's scary. Key, have a great weekend.
You too.
Today's Worth the Watch is really good. Comes from Valley View. A 4-year-old boy there had his wish granted today to become an excavator operator. His name is Jordan. He was born with a rare congenital heart defect. It's known as Shone's complex. And thanks to the program called A Special Wish and Independence Excavating, they came together to help Jordan's dream come true. He's got that cool little uniform. Check him out there. He's got the boots, the vest, the safety hat, and best of all, he got to operate the big machinery. Jordan, you are officially an excavator operator, and a pretty darn good one at that. And What's New says a very big congratulations to you. Isn't that great?
That is so awesome. You know, little boys especially. I mean, all kids love these big, giant, earth-moving equipment, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, most get to play with the smaller version in their sandbox. And look at Jordan there. He's wheeling that thing around, and he's moving dirt, and you're official, Jordan.
Got the real deal right there.
We love it.
Coming up in the next half hour of What's New, opening U.S. borders to vaccinated international travelers. We'll tell you the date that's happening. That was decided on today.
Plus, early holiday shopping deals. We're going to give you a look at the major retailer that's starting their savings event this month.
And getting ready for Sweetest Day, we have a look at some places to go this weekend if you're celebrating with a loved one for the day tomorrow.
That's tomorrow?
Yeah, okay. We'll be right back. You're in trouble.
Sneaks up on me every year.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
We begin this half hour with 3 things you need to know. First, a booster dose will likely soon be available for those who originally got the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. That was a one-shot deal. Today, the FDA recommended emergency authorization of the extra dose with a unanimous vote. Now, the CDC is expected to formally approve the measure. That is expected to happen in the next couple of weeks. Right now, Pfizer is the only option for a single-shot booster. The FDA is continuing debate on whether or not patients will be allowed to mix and match boosters. But there is some research that shows getting 2 different vaccines can provide stronger protection against the virus.
The United States plans to open its borders once again to vaccinated international travelers beginning November 8th. This will apply to both air and land travel. Foreign nationals will be able to travel to the U.S. if they show proof of vaccination and a negative COVID-19 test taken within 3 days of travel. The borders into the U.S. and Mexico have been shut down for non-essential travel for about a year and a half.
Pro Bowl running back Nick Chubb is out of Sunday's Browns home game against the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. This is a big blow for that Browns offense that's been really hitting on all cylinders. Chubb's been ruled out because of a calf injury that he suffered late in the Chargers loss out in Los Angeles last Sunday. Kareem Hunt should expect to get the bulk of the work at running back against Arizona. The Browns also announced today linebacker Malcolm Smith has been ruled out for Sunday's game with the Cardinals due to an abdominal injury. Never good news when you learn that your best offensive player is on the shelf for a very big football game. I originally had the Browns winning this one, and I thought they could do it comfortably by maybe a touchdown. I still think they're going to pull out the victory, but I think it's going to be hard fought and very close.
Well, at least the Cardinals will be missing their pass rusher. What, Chandler Jones out for COVID?
We catch a break on that front. Yes, we do. So we'll see.
Okay.
With that, welcome you back into the second half hour of What's New. Betsy's off today. Lena Lai is in her place. I'm Jay Crawford. Fall, it appears, Lena, arrives today.
Yes, and we have some storms to look out for, too.
Yeah, our Friday night football could see some bad weather out there. In fact, 2 games that we know of have already been scratched. Walsh Jesuit was at Padua, Highland at Aurora. Both of those games are canceled tonight. They'll be played tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It appears that the weather will impact a host of other games tonight.
Right. All right, Jason, so here we go. A lot of families are watching this forecast.
You know, Lena, I have to break it to them easily here because you would think as a meteorologist we get so excited with storms when they're coming through. And though that may be the case, I know it impacts so many people, especially across Northeast Ohio. So let me just paint with a very broad picture of what's happening in the atmosphere at this point. We still have our temperatures well above average, but you can see where that minus is. That's when some areas have gone cooler than this point yesterday because of the rainfall, that rain-cooled air that has sort of moved on in. And I use cool very, very loosely because it's still very warm and very humid out there. As Jay said, fall is coming, but it's not arrived here just yet. Still, a lot of our locations are still enjoying the mid to upper 70s, stretching from over towards the state line back towards Mansfield at 74 and just 2 degrees shy of 80 degrees at Elyria. That's what we hit today here in Cleveland, 80 degrees. We're about 15 degrees or so above average or where we should be for this time of year, all because of that very tropical-like air mass moving in from the south. Out ahead of that, you can see that high pressure system getting on out of here, but behind it, this is where the energy is sort of beginning to line up back towards the Erie, Lorraine area. Storms moving through late tonight. The window of activity is likely going to be between 6 and 9 p.m., but there's a secondary window that I'm watching in the overnight that we're definitely going to be talking about coming up a little bit later in the full forecast. Jay and Lynna, back to you.
All right, Jason, thank you. Now to our top talker, and even though it's October, we're already seeing Black Friday deals. In fact, Best Buy is having their sales this month.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be a challenging holiday shopping season. NBC's Stephanie Rule has what you need to know in the price you pay.
For holiday shoppers, the deals are coming early this year, says Best Buy CEO Corey Berry.
We are going to have Black Friday deals starting next week.
Why next week?
Because it's the start of the holiday season.
Who said that?
I think so many of us.
Black Friday has always been Black Friday.
And it always will be.
Why is Black Friday now starting next week? And you don't even have to go in the store, it's online.
I think what we saw from our customers is not just a willingness, but a want to try to start early.
Best Buy is not alone. Amazon, Target, and Sam's Club are also offering Black Friday deals this month, hoping shoppers buy now in case shelves are bare later because of ongoing supply chain problems. But Best Buy says it's ready.
We're going into the holiday with 50% more inventory than last year, 20% more than 2 years ago.
Wow.
And
so it's sitting in warehouses in the U.S. Are your warehouses full right now?
Well, we've been planning for holiday for the last year.
Should we be prepared to spend more than we did last year?
I think there are certain categories where you can absolutely see there has been price inflation. Appliances is a great example, but I think there are other categories that remain incredibly competitive.
And big promotions don't always mean big discounts. Recent Labor Day sales only saw prices drop up to 7%, a smaller discount compared to previous years.
For shoppers, when you see a sale sign, you shouldn't just buy that hook, line, and sinker. It's always good to do some price comparing.
Shopping expert Trey Bodge says forecasts for shortages this year are real.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of shortages, especially in toys and electronics.
One reason why retailers are ramping up now. Stephanie Rule, NBC News, New York.
Stephanie, thanks. This is just a theory. I'm certainly not an expert on warehouse storage, but I did hear today that on the West Coast, where this is a real problem, you've got all those ships lined up out there. They have 21 square miles of storage space.
Oh.
But only 2% of it is vacant right now.
Right.
So one of the big problems is they can't get the product out because of the truck drivers. There's a shortage of truck drivers. So I think this is going to be a story that is going to get very big in November. This is one of those things that the media is trying to warn everybody and to forecast this is going to be real. But it's not going to be real until the consumers are in the shopping areas and they're trying to buy product online and nothing is available.
I mean,
this is going to be bad.
For Christmas, I've already, given my kids a heads up, like, hey, maybe we, have less is more kind of Christmas.
Sure.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. No.
Might be homemade Christmas.
Yeah, hey, a lot of folks may be doing that. But I do feel like as we get closer and closer, particularly after Thanksgiving, that's going to be the number one story, is that these products are just not available. Coming up, this is going to be good. One-on-one with Banana Man. Yes, you heard that right. Our Mike Polk Jr. sits down with the social media sensation for a wide-ranging discussion.
Wow, look at
I
him
hope it's hard
posing.
hitting. That's still ahead.
Plus, love is in the air. That's because tomorrow is Sweetest Day. Coming up, Jasmine Monroe shares some of the best ways to celebrate right here in Northeast Ohio.
Welcome back to What's New. This weekend, South Park Mall in Strongsville is celebrating its 25th anniversary. In honor of the milestone, the shopping center is hosting a 3-day anniversary celebration with a series of fall events. It all starts today. There will be a beer garden, pumpkin patch, a bounce house, how about that, and live music. In fact, Monica Robbins will be performing. That's tomorrow. For more information about this event, you can check their Facebook page. Lena?
All right, let's talk about the weather. Big night for a lot of families, as we were talking about. But yeah, do we have flooding concerns at all, Jason?
Yeah, there's a little bit of flooding concerns. You know, we had it early last weekend when we had some active weather come through Friday, and that bled over into early Saturday. And I think we'll have sort of a rinse and repeat pattern. But you wouldn't know it, though. Looking outside right now, this is our CSU cam, and it is looking quite stunning here. Though we have a little bit more clouds and sunshine, that is sort of the telltale sign that things are changing across the area. This is all because of that cold front that has been nearly stationary across northwest Ohio, at least for the past 12 hours. Now that area of low pressure is going to be sort of the foot to the pedal that is going to get things moving over the next several hours here, and we're already seeing that sort of unfold. We've had a little bit of rotation in some areas back over towards the north and west this afternoon that has sort of titrated down as we've been through the last couple hours here, but you can still see we're sort of in a dry patch in the atmosphere right now with that frontal system just over to our north and west. Rainfall rates, at least along the lakefront there, is picking up in some areas there, and we've already seen a little bit of rotation, as I said, go out over the lake. If you're just to the south of this, you can see toward Bay Village and even the Lakewood area, you may be seeing a little bit of haze out there and maybe even a quick water spout. We had 2 of them reported just about an hour or so ago. On the leading edge of this front, we have tropical-like area coming in from the south. This is what's kept our temperatures well above average. We should be in the 60s for this time of year, but that is coming. I assure you it is coming towards the latter portion of the weekend. The National Designer hour-by-hour forecast takes us into the evening hours. You can see we do have some widespread scattered showers and perhaps even some thunderstorms with the energy still in place that cannot be ruled out. And of course, with thunder, there's lightning attached with that. So that is why it's very important, at least through the 9 p.m., 10 p.m. hour, that you keep a close eye here at Locked On 3 News for the latest with the track. Through the overnight hours, that area of low pressure pulls up towards the north and east, and we have residual showers following on Saturday. With the very warm lake, cooler air massed above it, we're going to have some lake effect showers you can see pulling in from the north and west through the afternoon on Saturday into the evening hours, and then we begin to dry things out. Cannot be ruled out that we're certainly going to have some moderate to heavy rainfall in some areas. I think it's going to be mainly over towards the east. 1 to 2 inches is going to be likely in this forecast with isolated amounts above 2 inches. So again, in the overnight hours, if you have to be traveling, perhaps going from to and fro, just keep a close eye on some of those lower elevations. Through tomorrow afternoon, look at high temperatures. 50s, low 60s. There you go, Jay. It is coming back. And for our Browns come Sunday, as they face off, you can see against the Cardinals, I think it's going to be a nice one as well. Temperature is going to be in the low 60s around kickoff. Your Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook showing AM shower possible on Sunday, clearing things out for the game Sunday afternoon. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, lots of sunshine with an isolated shower possible towards the end of next week. But all in all, the first half of the week, those are my picks, Jay and Lynna. I don't know about you.
Very nice.
Anything with a big orange ball on it, I'm happy with that.
Thank you, Jason. Hey, tomorrow is one of the sweetest days of the year. Of course, we're talking about Sweetest Day.
Yeah, so don't give up on love because there's plenty to go around. Jasmine Monroe shares endless ways to celebrate your sweetie.
Ah, love is in the air, and there's nothing like celebrating your sweetie on Sweetest Day. Aww. But if you haven't thought of a plan yet, don't worry, we've got you covered. Start off your morning with breakfast. You can head over to Pinecrest and indulge on their delicious menu at Pinstripes, topped off with bottomless mimosas. And you can never go wrong with flowers. Check out Blossom, Cleveland, and Lakewood.
Just pick and choose, pick and choose. Don't even think about it. There's too many options.
But if your honey's not into flowers, they'll love this, glass blowing at the Glass Asylum in Sugar and Falls. And right across the hall, you can end the night at M Italian. Last but not least, there's still time to book the ultimate getaway at the Grand Resort.
One night stay in our luxury accommodations, or you can upgrade to a suite. You automatically get a $50 voucher that you can use in either one of our restaurants or at the Grand Spa and Salon. You get a bottle of champagne and a box of specialty chocolates. You get the swan towel origami with the rose petals on your bed when you check in. and breakfast for 2 the next day. You can't beat it.
Not bad for cutting it close.
And remember, buying a gift isn't the only way to show appreciation. A simple thank you can go a long way. Happy Sweetest Day.
Yes.
I will co-sign the glass blowing in Chagrin Falls and M Italian.
Yeah.
Big fan of M Italian. Terrific food, great atmosphere, particularly if you can be outside. But the glass blowing is really, really fun.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah, I have like a little memento that I made. I did it with my mom and my wife, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
I kind of went kicking and screaming. I'm like, okay, let's go do this. Once I was in, I was all in.
Now, do you feel more pressure? You know, because I feel like these holidays are more burden for the guy than for the girl.
I agree, but Sweetest Day isn't like, to me, it doesn't have the same cachet as Valentine's Day.
Sure.
You know, you can forget Sweetest Day and probably slide under the radar. Yeah. You miss February 14th, you got some splaining to do. That's going to be an issue.
And I know Jasmine said thank you goes a long way. Yeah, it does, but come on.
You want flowers and chocolate. Okay, very good. All right, don't go anywhere. I promise this is worth the wait. Coming up,
really?
Mike Polk Jr. sits down with Banana Man, who runs races, well, in that banana suit. You want to stick around for this, trust me.
Also, this sweet pup is spreading smiles too. We'll explain her new role and journey ahead in the show as something good.
Sure am. How we sounding? 1, 2, 3. Got me? Yes. Okay, good. Hey, this is what my voice sounds like. I'm interviewed a guy who dresses as a banana today. You're welcome.
All right, I'm going to read this because it was written, and when I was in the script, I thought about changing, but I said, no, let's keep it in there. This story is super appealing. Oh, you have a couple too coming up.
No.
It's super appealing. There's a runner in Lorain County, and he's highly visible when he hits the pavement. Now it's your turn.
No, he isn't doing the splits, and our Mike Polk went bananas when he found out about this guy, so he headed out to learn more.
The concept of the costume superhero is nothing new, of course. But not all heroes wear capes, as they say. Some dress up like fruit.
So how did we end up here?
I guess
To truly know, we got to go back to the beginning. 1988, I was born. 2018, I ran a race in a banana costume, and we kind of went from there.
By day, Matt Droll is a husband and father who works as a finance manager at a car dealership in Amherst. But this is merely an alter ego meant to conceal his true identity.
My name is Matt. I'm the running banana, and I hit dingers.
Those are home runs, right?
I think so.
Okay.
If you live on the far west side of Greater Cleveland, there's an excellent chance you've noticed Matt running. He's fairly easy to spot.
What made you decide to start doing this?
The first race I ran, I did a half marathon. I wasn't in any shape to run it, and so I just decided, you know what, I'm going to have fun with it.
Droll says he enjoys the happiness it brings people when they see him in his banana regalia.
It's fun to see like the comments on Facebook of people saying, I needed that smile today, or hey, you know, it's the laugh I needed. Saw a comment on Facebook. This guy was talking about visiting his mother-in-law in a nursing home, and you know how it was a hard time on the family and everything like that because of everything going on. And he goes, we turn around the corner and there's a guy jogging down the street in a banana costume, and everybody in the car just busts out laughing.
How many banana suits do you have nowadays?
22.
You have 22 banana suits.
I have one for all different occasions. I put on my nice one today.
Oh, wow, you got your TV banana suit on. I imagine after like a marathon or something like that, one of those has to get pretty ripe.
It is pretty ripe, to say the least.
You just throw them out, get another one off the bunch?
Yeah, pretty much. I got a wardrobe in the basement that has them all hung up.
Do you wear it when not running?
I've swam in it before. Christmas, I did a maternity shoot in it once for me and my wife's second kid.
Just gonna gloss over that. Family, you have a family. How do they get involved?
Oh yeah, my kids love it. They've got their own tiny banana suits.
I guess I should do this. Do you have any plugs?
Going to do the Cleveland Half Marathon at the end of October. Coming around Christmas time, I've got my freestyle rap album coming out called Banana Spits.
Okay, I've got to go. I'm done here.
It's going to be great.
I must admit, there's something undeniably refreshing about the fact that there is no deeper meaning to Droll's endeavor. He just likes dressing up like a banana because it makes other people happy.
You've made the very generous offer of loaning me one of your banana outfits that you have with you so that I can experience what you experience. And I'm going to put that on now and then be on TV with you doing it.
It'll feel great.
Okay, let's do it.
The world can seem pretty dark and overwhelming at times, and seeing a man dressed as a banana jog past you won't solve any of your problems, but it might make you smile and forget about them for just a moment.
People always honking that much?
Yeah.
And for that, I salute you, running banana. You may not be the hero we need, but you'll do until that hero gets here.
Unfortunately, we could not license the Rocky music for that montage.
That was a close ripoff, though.
Thank you, it was. I think we typed it into first the music search thing, and it said Rocky-like music, and that's what came up.
I thought it was going to be the chest bump or the banana to you just
Boy,
did
it just can't make you happy. I just high-fived while dressed as a banana, another man dressed as a banana on the beach, and you're like, I didn't care. He didn't go the whole way.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I know. It was interesting. It was an interesting way to spend the afternoon. Hard to be unhappy around that guy. He's got a darn good philosophy about him. And I figured it out. He's not, I don't think he's a crazy person. I think he's I think he's got it together, and I think he genuinely does mean that, and he's earnest, and that there's something appealing about that. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, you did it anyhow.
Oh my God.
That's so side-splitting.
Yeah, there we go.
He's crazy like a fox. I think you can tell he's a positive, happy soul.
Yep.
He wants to spread that, and when you see a guy running in a banana suit, you can't help but chuckle.
And he has no political message. He's not trying to do anything. He's not like sponsor me.
That's
he's just
refreshing.
He's just running around in a banana outfit, and people are smiling at him. It's hard not to. You could be fighting with someone, like in an argument that goes by. You're like, all right, never mind.
Can we agree that's great?
That's pretty great. That's one thing we can both agree on. That's a guy in a banana outfit.
And he has 22 of them.
Thanks for spending the afternoon with me, man.
Yeah, that was a good story.
Thank you very much, Mike. Coming up next on What's New, a new edition, how this sweet pup is helping out in more ways than just one at the hospital. That's coming up in Show Us Something Good.
Then on What Matters Most at 6, she's celebrating a milestone with the Cleveland Orchestra. We're going to hear from Joelle Jones as concerts are finally back to the public. And let's do a pop quiz, shall we? On this day, 1966, the U.S. Department of Transportation was established by Congress. Our pop quiz question. This was a good one. I got to admit, it got me. Where does Ohio rank on the list of most traveled states in the nation? Is it 6th, 14th, or 24th? The answer when we return.
I do. How are you, David? Big news from the Browns tonight. Ouch, Nick Chubb will not play on Sunday. Calf injury.
All right, before the break, we asked you where Ohio ranks on the list of most traveled states, and the answer surprised me a little bit. It's actually 6th. It is the 6th most traveled state, and I figured there are a couple of east to west arteries that run through our state, and that probably accounts for that.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, today's Show Us Something Good comes from Louisville, Kentucky, where a new staff member was introduced Thursday at the Norton Women's and Children's Hospital. This is Edie. The 2-year-old golden retriever will join the team in the pediatric emergency department.
Edie will support patients through a variety of medical procedures, like helping with an IV start or a laceration repair. She can also help our younger patients with medicine taking or pill swallowing. You might find her encouraging a patient to take her for a walk around the unit, or just lending her soft paw as a source of comfort and distraction.
Aw, we all need an Edie. This will bring the program's team to 10 dogs serving various hospitals within the Norton healthcare system.
I have 2, Maddie and Layla, and there's nothing about a bad day they can't fix.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for watching What's New.
What Matters Most with Russ and Lena starts right now.
Now at 6, rainy ride home. After the warm temperatures comes the rain, and lots of it. We're tracking the chances for severe weather tonight. Also, Chubb out. Nick Chubb will not play this Sunday against the undefeated Cardinals. Nick Camina will have the latest. Booster benefits.
Get it to keep people safe, not only just yourself.